I'm Richard Porter.
I'm Jonny Smith.
And this is On the Other Side of Things, the Smith & Sniff spin-off show in which we answer questions from a live audience.
Lovely room of people. Real good spokes we've got here. Lovely people.
It's lovely to be here, back at Mini Oxford.
Yeah.
Room full of people. We're going to take your questions. Shall we get the ball rolling, or do we have anything?
Well, a question came in. You might notice that on my notepad,
What
there is
that?
It's not a dog's mess, in case anyone at the back is wondering. It's a piece of rusty metal that could have been from a sunken ship, but a sweet guy called Lewis from Bigfoot Recovery and Transportation gave this to me, who may or may not have transported a Talbot Matra Rancho from Cornwall recently.
Oh.
This is a piece of the Talbot Matra Rancho.
The rest of it in a bucket round the back?
Yeah, he's got a dustpan and brush around the back.
Oh, man.
I've bought this car. Okay, I'm just going to put that there. I could just lie. You know what? I could lie to young people and say that's a part of the Titanic. Couldn't I?
I was going to say the Mary Rose, but then I realised that was Mary Rose, and that's a sauce. Mary Rose.
Well, they're both the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah, no.
It's been liquidised bit of ship. I don't know.
But I realised the Mary Rose was made of wood.
Yes.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Right, who has got a question? Oh, straight away.
The two at the front shot straight up.
Well, that caught my eye, the arm going up over there, so I'm going to come down here. Sir.
Hello. Mixing my love of cars and music, in a 24-hour Le Mans type event, who would win between Team Relentless, Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe,
yes, or
Team Crackers International, Andy Bell and Vince Clarke, and they're racing round in, say, like Mercedes SLs or something like that? Around SLs, the Circuit de la Sarthe. The word's Le Mans, isn't it? So.
Is that Team Erasure or Eraz?
Erasure. So it's an endurance race. It's a 24-hour endurance race. Battle of the synth pop duos.
Well, I know who you're going to go for.
Well, obviously because now Neil Tennant didn't learn to drive till he was in his, I think, 40s, and has a Discovery. So he's not necessarily a Tillerman. No, but I think he's a keen strategist. So he's looking after fuel stops and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now Chris Lowe, he's got an 80s 911.
Okay.
He's had a Ferrari 456. He's had a BMW Z1.
Oh yeah, you said yeah.
I think he's a Helmswright.
Right.
I think he may drive in a slightly minimalist one-handed style, the way he plays keyboard, which may hinder his progress around the trickier, more technical sections of the track. But I don't think Erasure have got a chance.
What? That's bobbins.
Well, you think Erasure would do better in a 24-hour race?
Yeah, Vince Clarke would actually destroy it. I bet Vince Clarke's amazing on a sequential box.
No, because he loves analog synths, so he'd have like a real old-fashioned H-pattern box.
Well, what about
Andy Bell's too flamboyant. He'd be changing gear in a really wildly over-the-top way, and it's not efficient for speed.
There's only one way to settle this.
Actually do it.
Yes, they need to do it.
Not tonight. But it feels like this. Like, if one of them, their car goes wrong, it becomes quite literally a one-band race. Do we want to stick some other bands in there?
What, synth bands? Depeche Mode?
Oh, because they're almost down to 2 members now, aren't they, pretty much? For various reasons.
I'd go.
Yeah, Depeche Mode. Now,
I'd have to support them out of the 3.
An all-black SL. No, but they've gone too black and all the windows are heavily tinted. And at night,
they've aerosoled.
Dave Gard's got back in. He's back on the smack. He can't see where he's going. He just keeps going straight at the end of the Mulsanne. They're out of race.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea to aerosol the windows.
But then what if Vince Clarke gets poached at the last minute by Team Yazoo? Now, Moye, I reckon she can pedal.
Massively.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't piss around.
She's not mucking around.
No.
Tears for Fears.
Tears
for Fears, sorry.
Yeah, you get that right, please.
Yeah, I think they might be quite good.
Yeah.
There is only one way to sort this out, and it's to do it for real. So leave it with us.
So if anyone's listening to this who has any form of official connection with Pet Shop Boys, Erasure, Depeche Mode, or Yazoo, who haven't been going for 38 years or something.
Well, they're still alive.
They are both still alive.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll come back to this at some point. Does anyone else have
Daft
a
Punk.
question? Daft Punk.
Yeah, they could do it.
And it's their local track. Shit.
Anyway. Next question.
You caught my eye right here, and you're close.
This is great, because I could have walked then, but I just chose not to.
Yeah, you chose not to.
I'm going to sit down. It's pretty scary. My question
being us.
My question is, I've been lucky enough to to go on a tour of Mini today, and my home county of Norfolk. We've done a tour of the Lotus factory, handmade in Norfolk. It's a very different factory. It's a wonder they stay in one piece. My question is, what is the most amazing or the best thing or astonishing thing you've seen in a car factory, globally?
The most astonishing thing that I've ever seen, and he's ever seen. Goodness, that's a really, really good question. I'm trying to think of the factories I've been in.
There's something amazing that I saw when we did the live show at Bentley. I went for a little tour around the Bentley factory, and I saw something there which it turns out they do here as well. It seems to be pretty standard, but it was, to me, it was quite interesting. Asterisk. Before they install the wiring loom in cars, they put it in a little oven by the side of the assembly line.
Oh, yes.
To soften it up so it's easier to feed into all the wiring runs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it looks like it's, they put the loom inside a bag, which looks like one of those bags that pizzas get delivered into your door. It's like a foily bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the loom goes in one of those, so they sort of low bake the loom.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I don't know.
You open it up and go, oh, they've left out the head-up display. I ordered it specifically from the drop-down. Something amazing that I didn't see, but a friend of mine did, was in the Ferrari factory in Maranello, back when they were still joined with Maserati. And they'd opened this new state-of-the-art engine plant. And the guide went, this is the new factory. He's only just opened. He's state-of-the-art, best in the world. He's absolutely incredible. He's this. And he was talking a great game about how incredible this factory was. He paused, and a V8 engine fell on the floor from behind him.
Did it really?
And apparently that makes quite an interesting noise. And they were very hurriedly ushered out of the state-of-the-art engine factory while everybody picked up the bits.
Well, okay, so when the Jag I-Pace was launched, I was in the factory when they first switched it on. That was really good fun, because I hadn't seen an electric car being built before that. So it was interesting to see the marriage of the sort of EV parts and a normal car parts. And it was done in Austria, of course, so it was just over the way there were G-Wagons being made and a couple of other cars, so it was like different breeds of cars being made at the same time. That was cool. In Japan, it was the first time I saw those little robot delivery carriages going along the tracks on the floor, and I was shit scared of them. It's a bit like the first time I ever had to work with a drone. I couldn't stop staring at it, and that doesn't work very well in TV. Because you're supposed to be talking to the camera, and the drone's over there, and they're like, no, you're going to have to do that again, because you were side-eyeing it the whole time. It's because it's like, I don't trust it. Don't fucking trust it. It's sitting there buzzing, and it's just going to suddenly go out of control and hit me.
Yeah,
like you're
blade in the eye.
In the temple. It's you with the bird in the temple.
I might need to modernise my fear of birds flying into the side of my head to accommodate drones.
Drones. Well, that's like, what, 20,000 RPM carbon rotors?
Yeah.
Beat that, blackbird. Yeah. It's not a threat.
No.
Yeah.
Right now, does anyone really far at the back have a question that Johnny's going to go and hold the microphone for?
You in the yellow cap. I'm going to stand behind you while you ask a question, just to see if it weirds you out.
Breathe
Cheers, mate.
really heavily as well.
Yeah, last time I spoke to you to a microphone, it was much less intimidating. But I did say the C word in front of 400 people. So.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes, you did.
I do have a question. As we are now in an age where things like the Renault 5 are being revitalised as the retro new electric car, do you think there are going to be moments in the future where, like, early 2000s cars like the Corsa C are seen as
the new retro car? And if so, what do you think is going to be the one that pops off like the Renault 5 has?
The Corsa effing C. That's a good question.
It's a good question because I suppose everything becomes retro eventually. We're living in an era of mullets and moustaches.
Yeah, everyone looks like the keyboard player from Soft Cell. I realised that.
Yeah, or an Australian sex pest, but...
I think I was following one the other day and then I overtook it and I realised...
What, an Australian sex?
No. I realised BMW need to bring the Angel Eyes back.
Oh.
Do we not agree? They were so cool, everybody liked them, but they were sinister but also quite classy.
Yeah.
Bring it back, BMW, please.
Actually, don't the DRLs on Minis at the moment have a sort of angel eye effect?
Yeah.
But it's not the 4, obviously, it's just a single big.
Yeah. No, I like the Angel Eyes. Also a song by Roxy Music.
Yes.
So I find myself singing that whenever I see one, which is luckily not that often these days.
So what's an iconic car from the 2000s that could come back in, say, 30 years' time? Or even 20 years' time, maybe?
Well, I was going to say the Mini One, but it's because that came out in 2001.
Yes.
But it's still here.
Yes. But unless they made what was a retro car retro again, like they just went back round again for another go.
Renault aren't going to bring back the Modus, are they?
No. But would there come a point when an original Clio would seem to a younger generation like an appealingly retro car? Because they are bringing the Twingo back, the original Twingo, and that doesn't feel like it was dead all that long ago.
No, that's true.
But I suppose it was quite iconic because it was very distinctive. So what's distinctive from the 2000s? Multipla. Who said Multipla? Peroggio Calisa.
Do you know, what about if Daihatsu was to just come back?
Well, they are still around.
But in the UK, I mean.
Yeah. I'd vote for that.
Yeah. Could we have that?
There was somebody, I can't remember who else, somebody put on social media this week a picture of someone they know had bought a Peroggio Calisa for £25.
What?
Dead straight. And it turned out it had a sub in the boot, which was worth 50 quid. So, in fact, Calisa, they paid minus £25 for a Calisa.
Who's put a sub in the boot of a Peroggio?
I don't know. You think it would blow the body apart? But I bloody loved the Peroggio Calisa. I thought it was great.
That would be the sort of automotive equivalent of throwing a couple of those things into a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Oh, Mentos.
Those Mentos. Be like that, wouldn't it? Just go...
I almost successfully persuaded James May to buy a Peroggio Calisa on his Switch card.
Really?
Yeah, we were in the office and it was like $4,995 or something at the time. And he went, you could buy one of those on a Switch card, couldn't you? And I was like, yeah. And he went, I might do that. I was like, I think you should. But you had to do, there was the base model with black bumpers and everything. And I think we rang a Peroggio dealer and they went, we don't have any of those. Because it was just to get the headlines, I think. So
they just refused to sell one.
And we sort of went off the idea. But yeah, he was dead straight. He would just get his Switch card, debit card out and buy a car with it, a brand new car. There we go then.
I think the short answer is
slightly offset number plate.
I think the short answer is yes, they will. They will.
We're going to rattle through these if you just go, the short answer is yes.
Yeah. Any other questions at the back or the front?
Here.
There's one at the front there.
Go on, I'll do.
I signed that chap's catalogue. It's a bit smutty.
Oh,
sore ass. 1 moment.
Fair enough. What are you drinking?
Oh, it's only a litre can of lager, you know.
Is that Fax Lager?
Yeah.
Gosh, I haven't drunk any of those since I was about 15.
Oh, I know. I feel
brilliant.
Can we have the can afterwards because we've got an exhaust repair to do outside?
Absolutely. So, 3-car garage. You can choose 2 TV show cop cars, but the third vehicle either has to be a Reliant Robin or a monkey bike of your choice from the 70s.
Sweet.
Which one are you going for?
Okay. So have I got to use this for like school runs and everything?
Absolutely.
Okay. Shit, that's quite a
You
serious
can use
question.
the 2 tones though.
I've already made my mind up.
Have you?
Yeah.
We do.
Warm. Spender.
Oh,
Cossair.
Cossair. You bastard.
Because if times get tough, I can sell it for £1 billion.
That's true. It's a very good idea.
2, I need something to take the blood pressure down after the Cossair. Something I can use in wet weather and for the school run and things like that.
Yeah.
Midsummer Murders.
Well, I've never.
Bergerac, although he wasn't calling himself that in that show, Rover 75.
Is that what they drove on? I've never watched Midsummer Murders ever.
I have to admit, I haven't really, but I'm pretty certain he had a Rover 75. Because why wouldn't he? He's Jim Bergerac.
I think I'm going to go K-Reg Sierra from Touch of Frost, the very last of the Ford Sierras. For any boring bastard like me who fancies a bit of run-out model,
Yeah.
I'd go for that. And then I'd go Monkey Bike. Can I go Gold Edition, 1996, I think it was? An amazing, amazing piece that you put in your front room and probably not use much. With a brown
Monkey Bike as well, by the way.
A brown stitched seat. Sweet
Maybe have
vehicle.
the 75 Tourer so I could get it in the boot.
Oh, there's what I know. It's a question from people we get asked is, are you scripted?
If we are, not very
If you've ever
well.
come to one of the live performances, you'll know damn well the answer to that.
So guys, hey guys,
Hi, guys.
being an avid lover of the Rover group, what do you think Rover and MG should have done differently in the noughties to bring it back to where it should have been today and not taken over by SAIC?
Ooh. Well,
Big question.
Jonny and I were talking about this earlier on, about something else, in the context of the Titanic. You may have heard of it. There's a piece of it on the stage, actually.
Yeah.
And
It's here.
the thing about the Titanic, I believe, and I don't know this for sure, but is that they hit the iceberg. It was not immediately apparent that they were up shit creek. People probably went to the bar and went, have another cocktail. That was a loud noise, wasn't it? Yeah. Everything okay? Seems to be. And they kept on going for a bit, and then the ship went down. But the inciting incident happened ages before that. And I think the same is true of MG Rover. They were probably near as damn it unsavable by the 2000s, looking back on it. And the damage probably happened, I don't know, in the 70s?
The 70s?
The 70s.
Yeah.
I was driving along the other day and I was thinking, because we always say the 60s, but like,
Yeah.
what would the equivalent be? And I was like, the 70s is more like a roadie.
Yeah, it'd be like
Double
a
D,
70s. Yeah, it would be. It'd be.
So I said to Ozzy, you can't do that, mate. It's the 70s. And,
Yeah.
double denim, very lank hair.
It would be. It's when like men worked all day doing labour jobs and all they ate was an apple.
Yes. Absolutely
And
no liquid.
How did they not die?
Oh, the
they
apple's
smoked.
got moisture in it. It'd be fine.
2 pipettes of water, 18 cigarettes, and an apple. Brilliant.
Cigarettes had vitamins in them in those days.
Yeah.
People were thin in the 70s, weren't they?
There's a lot of thinness in the 70s.
Oh,
Just ask David Bowie.
Well, it's probably because of the cigarettes and everything. But also, I just think people just didn't eat as much.
Yeah, an apple.
An apple.
Yeah.
I used to go back to my dad's house and, so I'd go, oh, Dad, I'll make us some dinner. I'll make a spag bol or something like that. And then I'd get the dinner plates out and go, where are the dinner plates? These are tea plates. But they're not. They were just like 70s spec.
70s dinner
You
plate.
couldn't get enough. Well, I thought you couldn't get enough food on them. But
Was it a saucer?
yeah, but I was like, these are the plates that we ate off when I was kids. And it didn't seem too small then. Everyone's plates have got too big. That's the problem with the modern world. Plates are too big.
What was the question?
I can't remember. Something about plates, I think. Plates on the Titanic. No, I don't know. But if you were trying to...
Oh, MG Rover.
If you were John Towers and all of his mates and you'd bought MG Rover, I think probably... Truthfully, the Alchemy rival plan, which was to basically stop making everything except, I think, the MGF and the MGTF and the Rover 75, and just sort of then try and think of what to do next, but was probably a better plan, but it would have involved making people redundant, and that was bad. So it seemed superficially that John Towers had got it covered. But unfortunately, the good ship Towers had struck an iceberg several years before. We just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, I mean, almost related, but not quite related. I was sitting next to Peter Stevens at a dinner last week, and we got drunk on Malbec. And we were chatting about the land speed record, Bonneville Salt Flats, MG ZTT. And I said to him, that land speed car was awesome. He went, yeah, it's one of the most fun things I've ever done. And I said, I was at the MG liquidation auction and looking around that car with all the spares that came in all the flight crates. And he went, one of the biggest regrets of my life, I wish I bought that car.
Oh.
When they went under, he said, I know where it still is if you want to feature it. I know the person that bought it.
Was it Richard Noble?
I don't think it's Richard Noble. Yeah, he hangs around railway stations.
Yes.
He's always parking it in that bloody car.
He was only hanging around there because he got the train into Paddington because he was waiting to meet someone who was going to sell him that Skoda that Richard Beadon did a land speed. Everything he drives has to be a land speed record holder.
Absolutely.
He's uncompromising, he's noble.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a gloomy answer. I don't really know. Honestly, as we've established in a previous episode, there's a reason Jonny and I don't run a car factory, and it's because we're fuckwits. And I honestly don't know what you would do.
Do you think we would have run MG Rover worse than MG Rover ran MG Rover?
Steady on. I don't think we're that big a fuckwit.
A question from anybody. Chap, you were quick. You were quick there. Right. There you go.
Evening, all right. It's more of a question about Sade, to be honest. I'm
Sade?
a little bit confused.
Got no interest in Sade. Ask someone else.
I'm a late listener to the show, and I just wonder what the undertone Sade with her Wankel engine was all about. Or have you approached her for comment?
No, I've never approached Sade.
Because of that injunction.
Yeah. Don't want to talk about that. So the bottom line with Sade is, and this is it's a good point, because there's people that sometimes listen to the podcast who haven't listened to all the other hundreds of episodes.
There is actually a recent episode. We put it out earlier this year, which is a compilation of clips from previous episodes where we first talked about some of these running gags. And I think the Sade one is in there. And I'll be honest, I can't remember why.
No, because someone worked at, we joked about her being interested in being into cars, and somebody who listens to this podcast, who lives nearby and used to work at a petrol station, she pulled into the petrol station in a Wankel RX-8, and I think even bought some oil.
Well, she's got an RX-8. Of course she brought some oil.
RX-8. She said, I'd like 80 litres of petrol and I'd like 18 litres of oil, please.
I'm planning to drive 10 miles today, so I'll have 100 litres of oil, please.
Yeah, so aside from being multiple platinum, easy listening, sex music entrepreneur, also is a massive Wankel enthusiast, it seems. But we don't know if she still is now. And that's...
We just don't know. I'm not trying to curry favour with Sade, but she's just released a song for the first time in ages. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called... Oh, God. No,
Triple Rotary.
The bloody tip seals have gone again. It's called... No, it's called Lion Man or something like that.
Is it called Lionhead? My love
yes, it's
of...
it's about...
My love of / with Dave Richards.
It's about Noel Edmonds.
The Lionhead.
Yeah, the Lionhead. No, it is genuinely a very good track. Check it out, pop pickers.
By the way, Sade's never contacted us. She doesn't know us, I don't think, and she's certainly not paying us.
If Sade were to contact us and, better yet, agree to speak to us on this podcast, that's it. We would have to shut down afterwards because we'd have peaked, I believe.
Oh, yeah, shit, yeah.
I'm going to wander over here.
Okay.
Not yet.
You just want to packet of crisps.
No, I'm going through with my plan to just leave and let you handle this on your own. Anyone over here got a question? Ooh, in a hell of a shell suit top as well.
I currently drive an F31 BMW 3 Series 330T. In a couple of years, probably, I'll be wanting to swap it for something electric.
Mm-hmm.
What do I get that meets all those criteria? Fast, comfortable. It's not an SUV. Does my commute up and down to Stafford.
From where?
From Aylesbury. 2 hours, kind of, in the day sometimes.
Big criterias here.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Non-SUV, electric.
How many miles? Is
100-ish each way.
100-ish each way?
Not every day, but every week, usually.
And you got a charger at work?
Yes, there's charger at work.
Or in the hotel where they sometimes supply dressing gowns with no cord. And how much money have you got? No, that's the chase, but...
Assuming I could get probably 8 or 9 for the F31 in a couple of years.
So you
25?
Buy outright or lease it?
I always like to buy outright.
Okay.
And that's what
good
I've done
intel.
with
Put it into the computer,
31.
Jonny. Any other questions? Do you have a driveway?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Do you know any people called Ian?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever been to Ipswich in the autumn?
I don't think I've ever been to Ipswich.
Right, okay, good. It's all information, okay.
Well, I don't...
See, I was going to say a Tesla, but you've never been to Ipswich in the autumn, so that's off. Can't have that, for reasons I can't explain. No Teslas around what? Or MGs? Oh, okay. Add those. Have you ever had a strange pain in your elbow, but when you go to the doctor, it's disappeared again? Okay, good. Right, we're building up a picture now.
I'd like to suggest that you have a go in a wind knife.
What?
AKA the Hyundai Ioniq. Full stop, not 5.
But that's...
You can get it...
It's going to be an old car in 2 years' time.
Who gives a shit?
Well,
It'll still be
but the
fun.
range on the electric one's not very good.
Oh, you need to try a wind knife, my friend.
You just wanted to say wind knife.
Yes, I do. I just want to say a wind knife. It's only because nobody calls them wind knives apart from people that own them.
Yes. I don't think
it's like being
Hyundai have ever called it the wind
It's like
knife.
being in the inner sanctum of a Dungeons and Dragons club.
I know.
And when you're in, it's a wind knife.
Yeah.
When you're out, it's just an Ioniq.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be incredible high-speed efficiency. And I also think that I wrote this down actually. You know, we're in the season of frosty mornings and probably snow on the horizon.
Yeah.
Where you get cars with sort of cocaine-faced grills going to work in the morning.
The Scarface car, yeah.
They get stuffed with ice and snow, and they kind of come to work looking a bit like that. I saw a Polo Blue Motion this morning, which looked really coked off its face. So it's an efficient car anyway, but it's got a fully stuffed face. It's going, come on. But the wind knife, because it has those sort of grills which are mostly
Open,
shut off most of the time, that would have a really cokey face if it wasn't.
So Johnny's suggestion is to replace your BMW with a 7-year-old.
Or an Ioniq 5.
It'll still be in warranty though, won't it? Or will it? Are they 8 or 7? I can't remember.
Is what, sorry?
Warranty on a Hyundai.
It's 5.
Oh, is
7
it?
on the Kia.
Okay. Oh,
I don't know. I can't remember what.
The landscape is changing rapidly.
Wind knife or 5? Go.
I don't know what will be around in 2 years' time. Because if you like BMWs, you may want another BMW, like an i4.
Yeah, an i4.
A friend of mine has an i4. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah, that's true. Good call.
It seems pretty good on the old efficiency. But again, that'll be another 2 years down the line. I wonder what they'll have up their sleeves then.
You've been that side.
Someone down the front just went, huh. Oh, it's because I said sleeves.
Sleeves.
Right, okay. I can't think of anything else at the moment because I can't think what else is around.
What?
I mean, there's Audi going. There's going to be
Don't buy any electric Audi.
Oh, is that your verdict?
They're all shit. No, they're all not good enough. Anyone got a question on this side of the room? Yeah, there you go, look.
Gosh, I'm going to go in here.
Off you go, Rich, with your knees.
Here I come.
Both of them.
Oh, he's wearing an All Days and Onions T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Well
great
done.
T-shirt.
It's a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Rich.
Johnny's got a thing for sleepers.
And the
because
course.
there was a rather superb car that you reviewed recently on your little show. We like an estate. You've got the Allegro. If you're going to do a sleeper, Richard, what would
Who says
it
I haven't?
be?
You just haven't noticed it. No, I haven't really. But I could, maybe. That's a good question. Ooh, what would I do as a sleeper?
It's probably in this factory now under a sheet.
Yeah.
He's having it made by like Bruce Wayne would.
I mean, there's a sort of part of me that always quite fancied like getting an old Lexus LS 400 because I think that engine would take to some tuning quite nicely.
Hell yes. It would also, and also we need to apologise to our Irish listeners.
Yes.
Because we presume that IS 200s were old people's cars. And it turns out in Ireland, they're only driven by young hooligans, and that's it.
Yes.
So we got the demographic totally wrong.
We've had some messages from people in New Zealand as well. And apparently the New Zealand youth are quite fond of them as well and drive around like absolute ball bags in them. So, yeah, different demographic. Yeah, Lexus LS would be good. I mean, with tedious predictability, I'm probably going to say also, what about some kind of Rover 75 or something? But I don't know.
Well, they did a
sort
V8.
of did one, didn't they? So that
They did.
feel like an Austin Princess.
Oh.
You nearly did a Crossways straight 6 in that. So I'm thinking, yank that out and pop in some kind of BMW straight 6 or a 2JZ. I'm not sure it'd fit, but there'd be a fun way to find out. How about that? A 2JZ swapped Princess.
It would be an amazing thing.
Have you seen? There's a guy who's put a Vectra V6 into a Daewoo Matiz.
Yes.
You seen this? I'm not making this up. It's genuinely true.
Yeah.
He slightly undermined the sleepiness of it by putting some Porsche alloys on it.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Which is, it's just like
the rest of it
just got so far and then you've missed the mark. And I like that sort of pint into a half-pint glass mentality.
Yeah.
So
I like a Matiz, though.
What about, not a Matiz, but maybe like a Cinquecento?
Chevy Spark.
Or an original Ford Ka.
Because you used to have one.
I used to have one, but this one has got a Cosset, Escort Cosset engine in it.
Oh, floor.
I think people have done that, haven't they? I feel
Someone
like
must
something
have
people
done
have done. One of those.
You reminded me, the MOT of the Quest yesterday.
Yeah.
When I pulled up, the guy went, have a look at that car out there. And out in the industrial estate, where there's designated parking either side so that lorries can go in and out, there was a Ford KA Plus parked in the middle.
Oh.
And he said, that's my 10 o'clock appointment. She's put the keys through our letterbox and just gone. She's parked it there.
Oh my God.
It was just in the middle of the industrial estate.
I'm too busy to do this.
So I said, well, maybe it broke there. She just hasn't told you yet.
Oh, yeah.
It was just there. But that was a KA Plus.
Yeah.
The one that nobody wants.
Different kettle of ball games there.
Yeah.
I mean, a Cosworth engine would fit quite easily in one of those, I imagine.
Cosworth.
Goodbye.
Thank you.